Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals, and today I am going to do a final flip through of this faith journal that we made together for the free faith journal course that I ran on my channel. And it will always be up there, all the videos will be on my channel, so if you're just hearing about this, you can start that at any time, and it's go at your own pace type of course. So here is the cover that we made. I love the collage. It's really pretty. It's just me. I really enjoy this cover. So beautiful. And then the idea with this course was it's the I Am course, where we identify the negative self-talk and the lies that swirl around in our heads, and we replace them with scriptures of truth. And inside every page is a different I am statement that speaks to us against those lies that we tell ourselves. So here the first page is just like an introduction page, or I'll call it my details type of page, where I just write the details of the journal, how I used it, what the title is, the date, that kind of thing. And then here's my very first I am statement page. I am created by God. And then I leave space to do my journaling. And I love the structure of this course, where we did everything in stages. So first we made the journal, of course, then we identified our negative self-talk, then we found scriptures to replace them, and I am statements, and then we typed them up on different pieces. And then the next step was to stick them into the journal. And then the next step, I can't remember, did we decorate first and then we journaled and then we added finishing touches? So I really love doing it that way, rather than do one page, turn the page, finish this next page, do another page. We built it up in the stages. So I really hope you enjoyed that sort of new structure. But yeah, I am created by God. I just got a palette here, and the first part of the course actually was to gather pieces, that bower-birding process of gathering pieces. So they're all ready to go. I already had this ready to go, and this piece already had that ready to go. The next I am statement I had was, I am made in the image of God. And so perfect to have these mirrors to put onto this page. Love that. I love pairing words with images that go together. I love this one that has the crown. Aren't these beautiful? This is like my perfect page, because it's got blue, the crown, silver, flowers, and ballerinas. Like all my favorite things. The next one is I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So for this one, I put a photo of myself, a reminder that we are all also beautifully and powerfully made. Then over here I have I am chosen, I am called, I am wanted. And I just put the word daughter there, and my birthstone is the sapphire. So kind of the idea of knowing I am not a mistake, and sometimes I can feel left out and like I don't belong, like I'm an outcast, like I don't fit in. So that one can speak to that. And then this one is I am never alone, and I just love that God will never leave or forsake me, and he is with me wherever I go. So I just put a picture here of me walking, so it's like he's walking with me wherever I go, and he sits with me wherever. If I sit still, he's with me there, and if I go walking, he walks with me wherever I go walking. So again, using imagery to work alongside the words. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Then this one, I belong, and this was a little bit of a challenge for me to find the imagery, but I put like a thread or ribbon textile piece to kind of speak to a tapestry, where I am one of the threads in the tapestry, and I am one of the flowers in the garden, and that God says I belong in his world, even though sometimes I don't feel like I do. And then like the word invitation here, to say he invites me to be part of his family and his world, and I am loved. So I've got the hearts there. This one, I am seen, I am heard, I am known. So I put the chandelier here because it represents light, and you can see things in the light. So I often just like to be in the background, kind of in the dark, don't like being seen. But a reminder that we are made to be seen, because we reflect the image of God. And so if we hide in the dark and no one sees us, then we're robbing people of being able to see the glory of God through us, because we all reflect the glory of God. So again, just trying to put an image of myself being comfortable with being seen, that kind of thing. And then this one, I really like this. It's a simple page, but I like it. I am loved. And so just a reminder that I am loved as me, as who I am. Got heart oily and heart's here, and the promise, the rainbow is to me like a symbol of God's love, that his love is everlasting and something reliable, like a promise that I can rely on, and it's the foundation that I stand on. That even when life is really, really hard and painful, and I struggle with all sorts of things like insecurities and comparison and jealousy and envy and shame and guilt and fear and all these things, to know I'm still loved, even in all of that. And even when the world is falling apart and, life can be really difficult sometimes and things can come out of nowhere, and I'm still loved, because sometimes I can feel like if I'm going through a hard time or if I'm hurting, it makes me feel like I'm not loved, but it's not true. I am always loved, no matter what, as we all are. I am content in all things. So just put a stack of books, because when I read a book, I'm content. Whether I have much or little, I can be content. If I can't learn to be content right here, then I'll never be able to be content over there. So learn to be content in all things. I am enough and I have enough. I love that. Knowing that God provides all my needs, not just financial, but all my needs, like all my emotional, physical needs, all my spiritual needs, all my soul needs. And I am enough in that I, just as I am a sweet smelling fragrance, just as I am, using that sort of metaphor. I don't need more. I don't need to do this or that. I already am enough. And then this one, I am made for a purpose. Because sometimes I feel like, why am I even here? I'm just a waste of space. Like, there's no point in me even being in the world or existing. So just a reminder, I am here for a purpose, to bring good, to bring beauty, to bring light, to bring creativity, to bring love. And one way I can do that is through creativity. Like, I can bring love and light and beauty and goodness through creativity, through journaling, through writing, through my videos, through my journal courses, through my books that I write. Like, for me, it's about words and art, using those to bring something good into the world and to help hopefully make the world a better place through creativity. I love how Psychology Unsettled talks about their podcast and existing to make the world a better place through talking about psychology and therapy and all that kind of thing. So through my channel, I hope to make the world a better place through creativity and through journaling and art, through words and art. Love it. We did like a little word collage for one of the prompts, and over on this page was another prompt for your current lessons, like the ones that really stand out to you. So I lack nothing, I have everything I need, give as there is need, because I have no need, because God provides all my needs. Be generous, because I don't need to, wish for more when I already have everything I absolutely need. Give everything, because Jesus gave everything to me. This life is not my own. I am his. Yes, I am his. So it was like this one here. I might even underline that right now, because that is the final I am statement that came out of this journal course, that I am his. Everything just can be summed up in that safety and security, knowing that I am his. And then it's the final list of things to declare. So even though I don't feel like I'm a very loving person, even though I don't feel like precious or kind, I want to declare that these are things that I can be, and I am loved, I am seen, because I can feel unlovable. So one of my schemas, talking about Psychology in Seattle, they talk about schema therapy, and my biggest schema is that I have this sort of core underlying belief that I'm defective, which translation is, I'm unlovable. If people really knew me, they wouldn't like me. So this one, I can replace that with the truth of knowing God loves me, and I'm seen, I am heard, I am known. declaring I am kind, I am generous, I am loving, even when I don't feel like I am these things. I am content, I am joy-filled, I am grateful, like even when I don't feel powerful, even when I don't feel beautiful, declaring that I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am precious, I am delightful. So often I don't think I'm delightful. So often I think I just constantly like let people down and hurt people and disappoint people. So knowing that I am delightful, knowing that I'm never alone, again, that one speaks to like my second schema. My first one is that I am defective. My second schema is social isolation. So I tend to have a core underlying belief that I will never fit in, that I never belong. So this one is a huge one for me as well as I am loved. I am never alone. I am a good thing in the world. So often I don't think I'm a good thing. So often I think I'm a bad thing, and all I do is bring badness into the world. So again, just declaring these things and that I am his. That's the main one, really. So like, it's not an overnight thing where, okay, well, I'm just going to write I am loved and now I'm going to believe that. Like, there's our upbringings and things that happen to us, our experiences, they give us these underlying core beliefs, these schemas, if you will. And what I do though is, for me, it's about, they can always be there. That schema can always be there, but I have a truth that trumps it. It's not necessarily, for some people it might be that the truth completely erases the underlying core belief, but for me, I'm okay with knowing that the truth is more powerful, meaning it doesn't get rid of my underlying core belief, but it is more powerful than my underlying core belief because it's true. I know my underlying core belief is false. It doesn't feel false. I have an underlying core belief that it is true, but my head can know from, my experience of journeying with God and from the scriptures that I am loved. So even though I may always, for the rest of my life on this earth, feel like I am unlovable, it's the I am loved statement. Let me see if I can word this correctly. The I am loved statement trumps it. It is more powerful than my core belief. So my underlying core belief. So I hope that makes sense. So I can choose, even though that underlying core belief is still there and it feels true to me, I can still choose to go and speak out, I'm loved, and let that guide my actions rather than this one. So in the past, when I had depression and anxiety, for example, back in 2015 and 16, I let my underlying core belief be louder than this voice. I let the voice of, I'm hated, I hate myself, I'm unlovable, no one loves me, no one cares about me. I let those voices become the biggest thing in my life instead of letting this be the biggest thing. So now I'm much better at catching those thoughts. I still have them because, like I said, I still have that underlying core belief. I still have those thoughts pretty regularly, daily, pretty much. But now the difference is, back when I was, suffering with depression and anxiety, it was a constant thing. It was like 24/7. The voice in my head was, I hate myself. I hate this life. Why am I here? No one cares. I hate me. Like, it was just constant the whole day, whole night. But now it might be like 5 times a day instead. And when I catch it now, I can be like, oh, hang on. No, I'm loved. I'm loved. I'm loved. I still feel this underlying core thing, but I'm letting this overpower it and letting that guide my actions. So instead, like in 2015 and 16, I would just, curl up on my bed in a ball and not go out and be too scared to be with people and all that kind of thing, because I thought if I'm with people, they're going to see how bad of a person I am, because that's all I thought I was. But now, when that thought comes, that thought's still there. It comes, like I said, 5 times a day still. I hate myself. I am unlovable. But now, 5 times a day, I can go, wait, just because I think it and just because I feel it doesn't mean it's true. I am still loved, and I'm going to act out of that. I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to go have coffee with my friend instead of curl up and cancel, because I know, despite this voice that tells me I'm unlovable and that people don't care, I can know this trumps it anyway. And so that can still be there. That underlying belief can still be there, but I'm going to live out of this one because that's more powerful. Does that make any sense? That idea that it is more powerful, this truth. And that was a key thing, a lesson that I learned early on when I had depression and anxiety. One of the things that helped me get out of that was learning that just because I feel something to be true and say things to myself like I'm unlovable, I'm no good, doesn't make them true. The thing was, back when I had depression and anxiety, I thought they were true. The difference is I know they're not true now. They still feel really true, and I still have the thought 5 times a day. On my bad days, sometimes it's 100 times a day, but I can still know it's not true. Just because I have the thought, and even if the thought is constant and it's all I ever know, doesn't make it true. That was like revolutionary for me. It came from a book, I think it was called like The Happiness Trap. And books really helped me through depression and anxiety. That really helped me learn about, well, what is depression? What is anxiety? And what are the tools to combat it? And one of the tools I learned was to know, to realize, to understand that my thoughts aren't truth. Like, of course, they're just thoughts. They're just opinions. They're not actually truth. This here is the truth. And it is more powerful than these things that we tell ourselves. So I hope that's encouraging. I really, really hope that's encouraging, and just sharing a bit of my story. And that's the way it works for me. And if you have a different experience, that's great. I love that. And if something else works for you, go for it. Run with that. Love it. But if this in any way, shape or form helped you by sharing my own story and experiences with this, then that's why I created this faith journal course with the I am statements. And they're just reminders, because when I have those thoughts, those underlying core belief thoughts 5 times a day, this journal is the thing that can encourage me. So anytime I go, I'm unlovable, I go, oh wait, no, remember I'm loved. Because sometimes I do forget 5 times a day. Sometimes I will forget and I can spiral for a little bit. But then I can go back to this journal, and hopefully won't need to go back to this journal, but the act of doing it puts it in my head. Does that make sense? So you might be a person who needs to go back to this every day and just be reminded, oh yeah, I do belong. I am loved. I am content even when things are crazy. But for me, I don't really need to look at this again. Like, it's fun to look at every now and then, but it's not something I need to look at every day, because the act of just doing it has got it in my head now. The act of the process is what gets it in me, inside me. So I've got this now, and that helps me combat these things. So 5 times a day, 10 times a day, whenever those underlying thoughts come into my brain, I can hopefully, now that I've done this, remember quicker. I am enough. I have enough. Some of these I actually do want to print out big and put them on my wall, because I need to repeat them over and over again. I am enough. I have enough. I have everything I need. I lack nothing. I am his. Those are the current ones that are really, really speaking to me. So I want to put those on my wall. And then you can swap them out, like in a different season. They won't mean as much to me. So I will swap them out for different ones that do mean something to me. But yeah, those are just some ideas. I really hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you followed along and your experience of it, and what was the most helpful for you. Maybe share some of your own I am statements and own struggles. Another reason why I shared this course and about these sort of struggles was because, I don't know, I don't often hear a lot of people talk about this, especially in the Christian world. Sometimes people can think, oh, Christians don't struggle. Christians shouldn't struggle. Like it's a sin to struggle. No. That's a horrible thing to make people feel. And I apologize if you have been made to feel like that, because I know I've been made to feel like that. By no one's fault or anything. Everyone's well-meaning, but I have grown up in a sort of culture where I felt like, oh, I can't show my struggle. It's a sin to struggle, or we don't talk about those things. Hush, hush. We don't talk about the fact that we feel like we hate ourselves. We don't talk about that stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm going to talk about it because people need to know this. People need to know that they're not alone in having these thoughts. If you've ever thought that you're unlovable, let me tell you, you're not the only one who has ever thought that. I used to think that. I used to think there's something so messed up with me, and I was just so wrong because I was the only one who had thoughts like these underlying core beliefs. But when I finally talked about it, almost every person I talked to was like, oh my gosh, I have those thoughts too. And it takes away all of that shame, all of that guilt, and we can just be real. Like, can we just be real and talk about these thoughts? Sometimes I don't like myself. Sometimes I tell myself I hate myself. Sometimes I think I don't even want to be in the world, Sometimes I feel like you know, I'm ugly. Sometimes I feel like I'm just trash, to be honest. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm just completely such a, you know, not bringing anything good in the world. So I am okay sharing those things now. I never used to be, but I am totally okay with sharing them now because there's no shame in it. It's just human. We are totally just human, and it's okay to struggle. It is, we live in a difficult, painful world, so of course it's okay to struggle. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay to have this negative self-talk. It's okay. But we have some tools. We have the sword of the Spirit. We have a weapon to help us with it. You know, putting on that armor, taking up that sword of the Spirit. That's what it is. Like, that's simple, but it works. And it's true. Okay, that's enough rambling from me. I hope that was encouraging. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.